Hi everyone, my name is Serena. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to do my August and September wrap up. In my previous video, I mentioned that I didn't do my August wrap up because I've been on vacation. I went back to Sicily to visit my family and I didn't read at all. I didn't film at all. Also, I am in another location. As you might have noticed, I am in Florida because I'm doing an internship. I'm in Orlando, and yeah, I had time today, and it is the 29th of September. We still have a day in September, but I'm not gonna read anything else. So I'm just gonna do my wrap up right now. Let's begin with August. I read 4 books in August. 2 of them I already talk about a lot in my previous vlog, my I read Dua Lipa's favorite books vlog. So if you want to know my thoughts on Queenie by Candice Cardi Williams, I think that's how you pronounce her name, and on The Unbearable Lightness of Being by Milan Kundera, go check that video out. I talk about them in depth and I don't want to talk about them again. Also because it's been over a month and my thoughts are less detailed. I'm pretty sure I gave both of these like 3 stars and they were okay. They're not favorites, but as I said, all my thoughts are in the vlog that I'll link down below. The next book that I read in August was a buddy read with Mary from Mary Among Stories, and this was The Vanishing Half by Brit Bennett. I've been wanting to read this book for so long and I finally read it with her. This was actually a gift from her. I don't have any books with me right now, by the way, so I'm just gonna put pictures on the screen. But I really enjoyed this one. I give it 4 stars. I didn't give it 5 stars because it was slow at parts. So let me just explain the plot. The plot is basically there are these 2 sisters who are black, but they are white passing. And one of the 2 sisters decides at one point to live their life as a white person. And they do that, the sisters separate, and we have a dual timeline. We have the past when the 2 sisters are together and then they separate, and we have the present, which I think is still like in the 80s maybe. We have the present day with the daughters of the 2 sisters. So we see how both of these kids live their lives, these teenagers, or I think they're in their early 20s. They live such complete different lives because one is white passing and the other is not. So there are a lot of discussions, a lot of themes on racism, colorism, even sexism, and there's a lot of like talk on white feminism in particular, but it is an important book and I really enjoyed it. It took way too long for the drama to happen, you know, the sisters, the daughters to figure out, you know, the secret and whatever. But I do not want to talk about it more because I don't want to spoil. But yeah, I think those are all my thoughts. And lastly, I finished We Ride Upon Sticks by Quan Berry in August. I actually skipped a lot of this book because I didn't enjoy it as much as I wanted to. So I started this book back in May, I think, and I put it down. I actually wanted to read this one for a vlog. I do have vlog clips, but this vlog is taking me so long to complete that I don't know if I want to upload it, but I'll think about it. Anyway, I just skimmed through the last part because it just wasn't for me. This is a book about a group of teenagers in high school, and these teenagers play a sport. They play field hockey. They're from Boston, I think the Salem area, because there's a lot of talk of witches and there's a little bit of dark magic, but not really. I was really just expecting more magic, but it was just, it was more of a contemporary. It's set during the 80s. There's a lot of pop culture references. So it's just, maybe I'm just not the correct audience, you know, for this book. There are a lot of characters, so it's hard to like keep up. And the author concentrates a part of the book to each character and we get to know them. There's also a black character. I think she's the only black character between all the characters, so there's a lot of like a lot of social commentary maybe. And this book is also very weird, and I don't know, I don't think weird books are for me unless I get the weirdness. I'm just confused. You know, I don't know if weird books are for me, but I want to try other ones for sure to confirm my suspicions. There's the we point of view, and I was just bored most of the time, so I don't feel like I can rate this book, so I'm not gonna rate it. I'm sorry if anyone loves this book, but it just wasn't for me. And those are all the books that I read in August. In September, I only read 2. I read Emma by Jane Austen because I'm participating in a book club with Mary, Amanda, Victoria, and others. I will link the channels down below and the live show that we did at the beginning of the month. We were supposed to read this book in August, but I read it in the first 4 days of September because the live show was on the 5th, and I obviously had problems with the live show, but I chatted in the live chat and we had a great conversation. I just love talking about books with people. So we read Emma. You guys know how I feel about classics. It gets me a while. It takes me a while to get into the story because of the writing, but once I get into it, I enjoy it. I also watch the movies when I read classics if they have movies, because it helps me a lot. So I did watch the 2020 movie. I want to watch the 1996 one too eventually, but I just watched that for now. And yeah, I enjoyed Emma. I gave it 4 stars. I know a lot of people hate the character Emma because of her attitude, and you know, she feels superior and whatever. She just wants to she thinks she's always right, and she wants people to do as she say, and she's spoiled, I think, but whatever. I don't mind her. I thought it was funny, and I think a lot of us know what Emma is about, but basically Emma is a matchmaker. She lives with her dad. So we have this character, Harriet, who basically becomes Emma's new friend, and Emma really wants her to marry high in class, as per usual. In Jane Austen's novels, we have themes of class. We have a few other characters that I do not like. I do not like Frank Churchill. I do not like Mr. Elton, obviously. I do really like Mr. Knightley. I do not have a lot to say about this book. I enjoyed it. It was fun. Please watch the live show if you want to know our in-depth thoughts, because we talk about it a lot. We talk about the characters in depth and their relationships, because there's kind of like a power dynamic between the characters. But I enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. And let's talk about my last book. The last book that I read in September, it is Pet by Akwaeke Emezi. This is a short book. It's only, I don't know how many pages, but it's really short. It was a really short audiobook. I listened to it on audiobook and I really enjoyed it. I finished it like 2 hours ago, and I think I'm gonna give it 5 stars. But it's about this character. They have such unique names, by the way. Bitter, Jam, Redemption. These names are so unique. I love it. But I don't know if this is like a futuristic city. I think it is, because it's basically about this city in which there aren't any more monsters. So we have Jam. Jam is selectively mute, which I think is a great, you know, it's very interesting. It's a great representation. I love seeing things that I don't usually see in books. She basically accidentally makes one of her mom's paintings come alive, and this creature that comes out of this painting is on the hunt for monsters. Which is weird because this is a city in which monsters do not exist anymore, but apparently there's a monster on the loose. So this creature, who is called Pet, and Jam both collaborate to find out who this monster is. I love the parent figures. Please search for trigger warnings. I just find this book to be really unique. I usually talk about movies and TV shows in my wrap-ups too, so I'm just gonna briefly mention what I watched. In August, I watched the film adaptation of The Unbearable Lightness of Being. Talked about that in the vlog too. It was super long. It was 3 hours. It took me 2 days to watch. Then I watched the second season of Outer Banks. I enjoy Outer Banks. It's just really entertaining, but I do find it really unrealistic because crazy things happen, like fighting an alligator. People almost die. They really get hurt, and you would expect them to be in the hospital for a long time or injured for a long time, but no, after 5 minutes they're fine. You know, it's really unrealistic, but it's entertaining. I also watched season 1 and season 2, and I'm currently watching season 3 of The Circle on Netflix, and I binge watched this series in 2 days. I was not expecting to do that because I was like, I need something easy, a reality show, okay? I don't usually watch reality shows, so I just put this one on because it sounded interesting. It's about social media. So basically people talk through a screen, they see their profile picture, they talk through chats, and that's it. But there are a few catfishes in the group, so they have to figure out who's the catfish and all that. So I just put on the first episode expecting to DNF this show, but no. 10 hours later, I'm obsessed. I can't stop watching. It's just fun. In September, I watched Emma, as I said, the 2020 version. I also watched The Kissing Booth 3. Let's not talk about it. I just wanted to complete that franchise. I'm glad it's over. And I feel like this movie was just for, you know, the fans and for the cast members, because they seem to enjoy filming this video and they have so much fun, but it wasn't necessary to the plot. I also watched The Princess and the Frog for the first time. I know, I had watched every single princess movie except this one, and I cried. I love it. I cry. I always cry watching Disney movies, so what was I expecting? I really enjoyed that one. And on the plane from Italy to the US, I watched The Good Liar, which, if I had to give it a 1 to 5 star, I'd give it 3 star. It's a thriller, so I don't want to spoil, but I just wanted to briefly mention what I watched. And yeah, please let me know what you're reading. What was your favorite book of the month, or movie, TV show, whatever. Let me know. Let's talk. I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.